My journey in the recess program was a very eventful one. I learned so much. My artwork talks about the Red Sea, يعني the ocean, the Red Sea specifically. تراثنا السعودي, it's built upon the sea, the ocean. It's built upon trade, especially Jeddah. Even البلد was, the buildings were made out of coral reef, and it resonates with me deeply because my name is Muzan, and Muzan means cloud filled with rain. And essentially, what is a cloud without the ocean? What is a cloud without the sea? I designed a cloak that is meant to represent the Red Sea, and I took a video of it. I recorded it through three different landscapes. The first was the Corniche, which is essentially the life of Jeddah. The second was Al-Balad, which created a sense of middleness. And the last was the desert, which essentially there's nothing there. So I created it so that the cloak is basically traveling through these three landscapes, and it creates a sense of how no matter what happens, the Red Sea will always be eternal. It'll always be constant.
I would describe myself as a very creative person. I always think differently and out of the box, and I always ask so many questions, and I feel like that's one of my biggest the uniquest part of myself. So the artwork I made is called The Change of Oneself. The Change of Oneself is really talks about a deeper meaning with people changing themselves to fit into society. Now, when you first look at my art piece, you see the mannequin from the back. The mannequin looks very beautiful with her silk long dress and her beautiful long hair, but once you take a closer look to the mirror, you see her true self. Her true self is a reflection. What you see is a very dreadful, deadly looking woman, and it basically talks about how she changed her true feelings and true personalities for others to like her, for her to fit into the norm, for her to fit into society. Recess really showed my true talents that I never even thought I had before, and really opened my creative mind.
I feel like nature is for me about migration from one country to another, and I feel really proud of this as a 14-year-old girl living in Saudi Arabia, and it's a really nice experience. The youngest member in recess, learning new stuff, but I really enjoyed the program, and it was such a fun adventure. So the artwork that I talked about here is me exploring how I lived in London for half a year. In my art is a poem that I wrote in the UK. My school told me, why don't you try writing a poem? So I did the poem, and then it got published at the age of 12 for me, and it was a really nice experience for me at the age of 12. And then this artwork continues as the path in Jeddah. And the nature scene is all greenery around the area, and how the green grass, how snails, squirrels, and my inspiring quote in my poem is always train hard, work hard, never give up, never give in, and believe in yourself. That's the quote.
I think these types of programs are important because they give teenagers a real world experience before they go out into the real world and become adults. So in a safe way where they are exposed to these conditions without a lot of the risk. Working with the students has been such a pleasure, honestly, and figuring out each student's quirks and how to best work with them has been such a pleasure and a challenge.